we are to convert 5 root 3 cos x plus 5 sin x into an auxiliary angle form. 5 root 3 cos x plus 5 sin x. This can be written as r cos x minus alpha. And we expand cos of x minus alpha using the compound angle formula. That will give us cos x cos alpha plus r sine x sine alpha. Equating the coefficients of cos x, so that will give us the coefficient of cos x, and that will give us the coefficient of cos x. So equating the coefficients of cos x, we see that r cos alpha is 5 root 3. We set this as equation number 1. And we can also equate the coefficient of sine x. So that will give us the coefficient of sine x. We have r sine alpha equals 5. And that is equation number 2. We solve equation number 1 and equation number 2 to find the values of r and alpha. To find the values of r and alpha, we take the sum of squares of equation number 1 and equation number 2, so that we have r squared cos square alpha plus r squared sine square alpha. That is the square of 5 root 3 plus the square of 5. On the left side, if we factor out r squared, we have cos square alpha plus sine square alpha. And we know that this is 1 from the fundamental identities of trigonometry. The right side will give us 100. So r squared is 100. And taking square root, r is 10. Since r is positive, we will just ignore the negative part of that. To find the value of alpha, we can divide equation number 2 by equation number 1. So that we have sine alpha over cos alpha. That is 5 over 5 root 3. But we actually have r here, but they cancel off. Then tangent alpha is 1 over root 3. And we know that alpha is pi over 6 from the special triangle. Therefore, 5 root 3 cos x plus 5 sine x, that can be written as 10 cos x minus pi over 6. Part B, we need to find the least possible value of 4 plus 5 root 3 cos x plus 5 sine x. This is actually 10 cos x minus pi over 6. We know that cos of any angle is between -1 and 1. There is a coefficient of 10, so we multiply throughout by 10. We have -10 less than or equals to 10 cos x minus pi over 6 less than or equals 10. And this can be replaced with 5 root 3 cos x plus 5 sine x. So that -10 is less than or equals to 5 root 3 cos x plus 5 sine x. And this is less than or equals to 10. There is a 4 here. So we add 4 throughout. Then we have -10 plus 4 less than or equals to 4 plus 5 root 3 cos x plus 5 sine x less than or equals to 10 plus 4. that will give us -6 less than or equals to 4 plus 5 root 3 cos x plus 5 sine x less than or equals to 14. And therefore, this is the least possible value or the minimum value of this expression here. We need to determine the corresponding value of x, where x is in between minus pi and pi at this minimum value. So at this minimum value, we have 4 plus 5 root 3 cos x plus 5 sine x equals -6. You can move the 4 over so that 5 root 3 cos x plus 5 sine x. -6 minus 4 is -10. But we know that this part is actually tan cos x minus pi over 6. This is -10. Dividing throughout by 10, cos of x minus pi over 6 equals -1. X minus pi over 6. If cos is equal to -1, this angle, the argument, is either pi or -pi. Then adding pi over 6, we have pi plus pi over 6, or we have -pi plus pi over 6. Pi plus pi over 6 gives us 7 pi over 6. And -pi plus pi over 6 is -5 pi over 6. There are two possible answers here, but we need an answer in between -pi and pi. -5 pi over 6 is the only answer that we want. Well, 7 pi over 6 is not on that interval, so that should not be your answer. Part C, we want to evaluate the integral. Let's look at this part here. Using the auxiliary angle form, 5 root 3 cos 3 theta plus 5 sine 3 theta. The argument now is 3 theta instead of x. So we replace the x with 3 theta, and we have tan cos 3 theta minus pi over 6. And since you have a square of that, so we just square this and that. And that will give us 100 cos square 3 theta minus pi over 6. That integral now becomes the definite integral of the reciprocal of 100 cos square 3 theta minus pi over 6. And let's see over here, we can factor out 1 over 100, and we have 1 over cos square. The reciprocal of cos is secant. Then we have secant square 3 theta minus pi over 6. The integral of secant is tangent. We have tangent 3 theta minus pi over 6. Because this is linear 3 theta, we need to multiply by the reciprocal of the coefficient of theta. That will give us 1 over 300 tangent of 3 theta minus pi over 6.